Amazingly, right after we, finished streaming last week, almost the day after, Tombstone in 4K was finally announced. And like I just said earlier, sadly, today, Val Kilmer passes away. So it's kind of a bittersweet, honestly, to me, a bittersweet announcement, and that we're even covering it today of all days. But nonetheless, here we are.
Still a great day for Michael Biehn.
Still a great day. He's still with us. He's still getting $1 off of this. Coming out April 28th, 4K Ultra HD from Disney. It's been requested for years, good old Tombstone. I think the last time it was released on Blu-ray, 2010 or something, a long time ago. But since the 4K format has come out, this has just been one of those movies that people are just ready for. You're getting the Steelbook and you're getting a regular. There hasn't been a US regular shown yet. This is only a Steelbook like pre-order at this moment, but I think you can pre-order this regular wherever it might be, but not in the US yet. So that's what it looks like, though. Most likely that's what we'll get to.
Yeah, my only gripe so far, I dig the Steelbook.
I do too.
I went to pre-order and I felt like I was ordering Willow or The Sixth Sense. I forget the price, but it was in the 40s. And I just remember thinking, George P. Cosmatos, you didn't make this movie and your name's on the cover. I don't know if I can drop 40. Tombstone's a great film, but like, damn, they're gouging us now, man.
I do want to talk about the price.
They're gouging us.
But if you saw 40, you're lucky.
And oh shit, really? Yeah, I believe it was 42 when I said it. But anyway, like, they're gouging this price. They're doing it intentionally because they know the demand. They know the title. And honestly, it kind of hurts me because to me, I love this movie. I really like this movie. I don't love it as most people do, but I really like it. It is definitely something at a reasonable price I would have purchased. Now, I don't know. And it sucks because I feel like I can't support physical media because of the price gouging.
No, and it is, like you said, I've seen this movie maybe once, maybe twice, at least once, but I don't know if it's because of the length. This is a fairly long film from what I recall.
Yeah, and there's different cuts that I'm sure will probably be involved in here. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of heavy hitters in here again. Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell, Michael Biehn, Bill Paxton, Sam Elliott. Like, all of those dudes are right there on the cover.
And Val Kilmer steals this. It's not even a debate. Val Kilmer steals this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't even leave any crumbs for anyone else. And you've got heavy hitters in this movie.
And I like both of the artwork here, but honestly, I feel like regular no matter what, because Val is more front and center, whereas Kurt is bigger on the Steelbook. I want Val in the front.
I'm with you. That's a very valid point. I like the montage look better on the Steelbook. I feel like that looks more like a classically drawn Western.
But you're missing Paxton on the Steel. You're getting Paxton on the regular.
Well, Paxton's on the horses, ain't back there.
Nah, he's in the distance. He's right there in the front of the posse down there.
All right. Honestly, come on, man. Let's just call it a day. We both wanted Jason Priestley on the cover, front and center.
Why isn't Jason Priestley there?
No one else, just him in the glasses.
I don't believe the director's cut is...
Who's the director?
Coming with this? is it Kurt Russell's cut?
All right, for people who don't know anything about this movie, Cosmatos got fired like halfway through, I believe. I might be messing up the specific
Kilmer fired
details. It was always... Kilmer fired him, maybe. Man, you threw me off. It was always rumored that Kurt Russell stepped in and directed the rest of this. But then Kurt Russell has kind of said, man, he's kind of been wishy-washy on it, so we all don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
who knows?
I think at the end of the day, it became like a scrapbook thing, but because of DGA rules, they had to give it to Cosmatos, whoever that is.
Yeah. No. I think. Yeah. I wanted to see. I did want to talk about the price, and it is definitely something that happened with, or that Disney is doing. Like you mentioned, Willow was $65.99. That was what Willow was. And then I don't believe a regular ever existed in the U.S. I went outside of the U.S. to get my regular from like France or something. I forget where I got it from. It's not in English on the inside. I mean, it's all totally fine. It's all obviously. I did. I'm a huge Willow fan. And again, Val Kilmer. I mean, come on. But I couldn't spend $65 for a Steelbook, and when that's just not what I'm going to do. But now they've brought this one in. At least the initial price is $55.99 is what I saw on Amazon. I've seen it go as low as maybe a 40-ish range on a site like Orbit, but there's like shipping that comes along with that. And so what I feel like they started at 65, maybe that was their soft launch to the higher end. And they're like, look, we'll start at 65 to shock them. We'll bring it down to 55 and that's where it'll live.
We got to check Groove.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, with some of these Steelbooks, Groove with 7 ended up being $29.99.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of others I've seen it happen with. There's Lord of the Rings ones that are coming out. They're $29.99 right now on Groove.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now when it comes to Tombstone. And like I said, with this title, it's going to go so quick anyway. But I'm looking at either Diabolic or Groove. And if I can't find it there for a reasonable price, I have to pass.
Yeah.
And it sucks, dude. This is a great movie. I want this on my shelf.
This is it opened up, and the Steelbook is pretty badass. I mean, the inside looks cool. The outside looks cool. I think that outside of the price, my main gripe always, and it continues to be, and not just with this, but I've said this many, many times, is that charge me whatever you're going to charge me, but make sure I'm getting my money's worth. Like, okay, $65 Steelbook, very expensive. If all the cuts were there, if new features were there, if, you know, like all these different things that they're not even caring to do. It's all legacy features. It's just, so it becomes apparent that it is just for the money, not for real people that want this.
And if you can't do it with the actual features, do it with the physical materials.
Sure.
Or do both. And so we can sum up your whole argument right there with 2 words: second sight.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not going to pay the same price for a product I get at second sight that has a booklet, amazing transfer features, all that stuff. It's
Absolutely.
like I felt like I bought something worth the price that you're asking me to pay for a Steelbook.
Because it's a limited edition piece of tin.
That will get a re-release, re-limited. What was that term? Remember when they did that to us? Oh, man. When they reran limited editions.
Limited edition reprint?
Limited edition reprint. Thank you. Yes, it'll be that.
Yeah.
And then the re-limited edition reprint.
Yep.
Who cares?
Limited edition, unlimited dings when I get it from Amazon.
I've always been lucky with Steelbook deliveries.
I know.
I've always been lucky.
It's hit or miss for me, but it's one of those things where if I'm paying $65 and it comes with one, now I'm even more pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, you're right, dude. The Hitcher was $65.
What if, Matt, would this sway you? Since you want a more profound Val Kilmer, what if it came with a slipcase and you pulled it down and it was Val, right? And he took over the whole cover. And it even came with some musical accompaniment, like one of those greeting cards you open up and you hear him saying like, I'm your Huckleberry or something. Would that sell you on this?
It could. For $65, it could. I mean, I've said the same thing about even Nightmare on Elm Street, Exorcist. Like, dude, these are great. These are landmark movies that they're putting back out in nice packaging. Awesome. But like, isn't someone out there willing to put something new out? Like, so many people are still alive to talk about these things. So many fans. They put, what's that lady's name that's like the film historian that's got every commentary from here on to.
Yeah. So that
should be us.
I was about to say that's what we should be doing. You're our competition, whoever you are. But no, let me say this. With this one, it's a little troubled though, Matt. Like I said, there were tons of production issues. You're going to have, let's say you do get Sam Elliott to come back, okay? Because you're not going to get Kurt Russell because he would have to talk about the issues. Val Kilmer's passed away. George Cosmatos might as well be a fictional character. We don't even know if this man's real. Now, if let's say Sam, Jesus Christ, Roadhouse guy.
Sam Elliott.
I know, I fucked up. Sam Elliott, right? He's going to come back. Sam Elliott is still an active actor. He's not going to speak about any of these troubling things that went on with this set because it might cost him jobs right now when, Jesus Christ, Hollywood is fucking dying. So what are you going to get with all these people? They're going to be hesitant to come back.
I think you're shooting way too into the stars. I don't need any of these people to come back. They could get a set designer. They could get this random. So they could get any. Yeah, how about how they made the costumes?
But the set designer, if they're going to come back, they would have to fluff it all up.
Fluff it.
I think for them,
fluff it for me. $65. Fluff it. That's what I'm saying. Show me that you care. Fluff it all you want.
But listen,
fluff me.
This is where
I want fluff.
This is where I disagree with you. I don't think you're not showing me you care if your fluff is going to be some random film historian. Not for me. The fluff would be, okay, I can't get Val, obviously. Kurt won't come back. Get me Sam Elliott. Get me, whoever randomly was a cast member. There's a ton of, get me Dana Delaney.
Yeah, of course, that would be ideal. But imagine the person out there that's going to buy this has already pre-ordered it no matter what, just because they're a Steelbook collector, they're a Tombstone fan, they don't care about the money, whatever. Wouldn't some fluff make them feel a little bit better? We don't have to be turned on or off because of the fluff. but that person might be good with it.
I'm turned off by the price.
Definitely.
It's a great movie. I don't need the fluff. If this was affordable and the transfer is good,
true,
all you needed.
I don't need the fluff. I want it to be $29.99.
Yes.
If it's $65.99, if you gave me fluff, I'd be like, okay.
That's where we're different. See, after the $29.99, I don't give a damn what fluff you put on that. It's not worth $1 more.
That's it.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No more fluff.
For Steelbooks.
For Steelbooks.
We're
all right, we're getting there. We got
collectors.
there.
There's levels to this shit.
That's what it should be. Regular should be 20, 25. Steelbook should be 30, 35, and that's it.
Yeah.
Who is a Denny out there? I need to know. A Denny, I need to know right now what the markup is from just a regular ass Amaray case to just the basic Steelbook when you're getting all these made and whatever it is. Like, how much are we talking? A couple of pennies? Like, what are we talking? $1 more? Like, there's so probably to me such a small fraction of a difference in terms of how much this case costs for what we're being charged because it's limited.
I know, dude. I know. I agree.
I'm tired of talking about it.
Yeah, man.
Everyone wants to talk more about getting fluffed.
No fluff. Fluff is the word of the day.
I mean,
we don't want no fluff. That's exact. Fluff is the word of the day.
I'd like to get a poll going to determine who would appreciate fluff. And it's in terms of a sign of, hey, we're trying. Like, we couldn't get so-and-so back. We couldn't get so-and-so back. But you know who we got? We got back the person that trained Kurt Russell's horse. And they're going to tell a story about how they got fluffed.
It's not that serious, brother.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I need a poll ran immediately. One last thing I wanted to share about Tombstone. I don't know if anyone else saw this. Because usually I don't read these. But I read the announcement, whatever for Tombstone that Disney put out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's the corniest shit I've ever read. It could possibly be. Okay, here it is. Originally released in 1993, this is the first 4K rodeo for Tombstone, triggering viewers to witness all the dust-ups. Yeah, triggering like with a trigger of your gun.
Oh, shit, that's clever.
Viewers to witness all the dust-ups and defilement of the Wild West in crisp visual detail unlike ever before. Without having to skin a smoke wagon, Tombstone's audience will get a peek behind the saloon doors to see how director George P. Cosmatos and his gang of filmmakers brought the historic OK Corral into theatrical reality, including the storyboard process and realistic Old West gunslinging.
All right, pause for a second. First off, I don't see any yeehaw in any of this, so I'm not buying it. Secondly, when they said gang of, it should have been posse of filmmakers. You guys need to hire me to fix some of this shit. We're going to go corny. Let's like put on the cowboy hat and get stupid.
The upcoming 4K release of Tombstone is the high-res Huckleberry fans have awaited for decades. You're a daisy if you don't add it to your personal cinema archives. Along with previously released bonus extras, the 4K disc will draw an eye-popping collectible limited edition steelbook with custom artwork and packaging.
Matt, I take everything we say back. Those 2 paragraphs alone are worth $65.
I hope that's printed like on the inside of the thing.
I want a movie based on these 2 paragraphs.
Lindsay, what's buzzing in the chat tonight so far?
Lots of love for Val pouring in. It's a sad day.
It really is a sad day that we found that out just hours ago.
Yeah, so did I. What happened?
Val Kilmer is no longer with us.
No, I know. And it's that's a tragedy, man.
It is. It's really sad.
But and I hate to say this, but it is one of those things where it is tremendously sad, but it was, I don't want to say expected, but
he wasn't doing well for a while.
Yeah. And hopefully if he was struggling more than he let on, I hope he's at peace now.
Yeah. And this morning, like when I was just like looking through some stuff, there was like just a story that someone was telling about Val Kilmer and, something. I think it was like Jennifer Tilly about The Doors, some story that she was telling.
She's barely in that movie, dude. I think she's even cut from it.
Well, I was reading like some interview or some story she shared. Maybe she tweeted it. And I was like, oh, that was really nice. And then I went to another thing and it was someone else sharing a story about him. And I was like, hey, what's going on here?
Well, I'll say this. I don't think anybody should mention anything about The Doors during his memoriam because he was in character.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He was in character for that movie. And if you've seen the movie, I know you haven't, Matt, but I'm a huge fan of the band and I know that movie very well. The movie is just one big celebration of Jim Morrison's darkest moments, essentially.
Yeah.
And I read at the time, dude, it was crazy. A year after filming Wrapped on The Doors, he had to seek therapy. And he said, I couldn't shake Jim Morrison out of my head. Leading up to playing Jim Morrison, he lived as him for a year. Like on the Sunset Strip, he would go get lost in the desert like Jim Morrison would for days and stuff like that. Like he really became him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, actually, as dangerous as that is, that speaks volumes about method acting.
Yeah.
But no, it speaks volumes.
And about Val Kilmer.
But it speaks volumes about how committed this man was, and whether he was problematic to some, great to others. At the end of the day, if we're judging his art, this man was an impeccable actor, like hands down. You can't, there's no denying it.
No.
None.
He's got a ton of hits, and one of his best, which he also was widely known for method acting, was in Real Genius.
Yes.
The 1980s classic, which we have shared on this channel so many times, the movie of my youth, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it will always be, and Val brings this movie to life.
That's right. He actually traveled time to go back and join Mensa, become a child prodigy, live for 10 years, then traveled back to the production to perform in Real Genius. I mean, that is dedication, man.
That is dedication, and that kind of authenticity comes across in the performance, I think.
It does. But I'll tell you this, as someone who is a huge, I can't understate it. Anyone who grew up with me knows the Doors were my favorite band as a child. So somebody who was that close, who would have, I would be the first person to throw a bad performance under the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
He nailed Jim Morrison. You can say maybe the movie focused too much on all the dark stuff and didn't give you a little more humanity, but he didn't make the movie. As far as the performance goes, dude, that is Jim Morrison, man. Like that's probably like a top 5 acting, a top 5 performance of somebody who was real,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's incredible. And we mentioned Tombstone.
Heat.
Dude, you got a stat cast in Heat, and he is the biggest badass in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Dude, we all know the best scene is Pacino and De Niro sitting down. I mean, that's what everyone wanted to see. But the shootout shootout scenes, which are intense, and Michael Mann knocked them out the park. Val Kilmer in those scenes. Holy shit. He trained. I remember reading about this too. He trained so much. If you watch him in that scene, like the way he's bucking down and then like lifting the gun and turning back around and all that, like he went through some kind of training, and he took that movie specifically because of, you know, De Niro and Pacino. He was like, yo, take my name off top billing. I'll do it for whatever. You know what I mean?
It's like
just
some early John Wick
to work
shit
with them. It was, dude. But I mean, he was intense, and let's say this about his intensity as well. For some reason, he could play aloof and goofy very well. Willow, Top Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could do it all. He could be the perfect dick, or he could be goofy. I mean, he was great, versatile, and
he was Batman.
Sucks. Who cares? But I mean, everything else he did. Joel Schumacher doesn't even want to talk about. Well, I guess they're reunited now, but I mean, they don't. Shit, that was dark.
That was dark, Russ.
No, even Joel Schumacher was not a fan of Val Kilmer, is what I was trying to get at. He did not get along with him at all. And at that period, Kilmer really did kind of cement his reputation in Hollywood as being hard to work with. And that's why you did not see him in much late 90s. And even his sort of comeback would have been my man Shane Black's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which, if you think about it, he was doing Robert Downey Jr. a favor at that time as well, because nobody would work with Robert Downey Jr. And that's what that movie kind of, it was nice. It was a great movie, and it put them back in the limelight in a way. And then he tragically, you know, got sick.
Yeah. Lindsay, what's everyone else sharing out there?
Lots of favorites, lots of different performances that people love. A lot of people saying they loved him in Heat. A couple of shout outs just now for him and MacGruber.
Oh my God. Actually, yes. Hold on. Can I interview? Yes, dude. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is funny in that.
Look, say if you hate that movie, anybody who hates that movie, you cannot hate one scene in that movie. The scene where they give the backstory about how MacGruber and Kilmer met and became enemies.
Yeah.
That is one of the funniest scenes I've seen in any comedy easily this century. Do you remember it?
I don't think, I'm not sure.
What happens is it's like any typical backstory where they're like trying to tell you, oh, this is where he went bad. You know, this is where it started. But because it's this movie, in all the scenes, it's like, nah, MacGruber stole your girl. Like, MacGruber's the
He's
dick.
the dick
No
in all
wonder
this.
he hates you. Like, in all these.
It's his fault.
But the backstory, the way MacGruber's telling it is like, this is how it happened when you're watching it. Like, no, you were a dick to him. Like, he comes in, like, Kilmer's playing guitar or something,
Yeah.
and he comes in and steals his girl. And all this shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, MacGruber, that's an underrated gem, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So we wanted to kick it off at least talking about Val and giving him his some modicum of respect here on our show this evening.
It is sad.
It is sad. He meant a lot to, I know, a lot of people out there, and definitely was in a lot of movies that I loved. And it's a shame, like the turn that his health did take there towards the end. But
Let's say this: he never quit.
no,
He kept putting out those documentaries. He was doing those Mark Twain plays. I thought I heard about him doing that last year.
I think he was still doing. I think he was
Yes.
still active.
That's what I'm saying. So that's a beautiful thing when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to suffer and not do what he was put on earth to do and what he truly loved. He got to do it right up to the end, which that's a blessing in itself.
It is. It is. Val, we love you. Thank you for everything. We'll see you one day. Let's
We got to work on these in memoriams.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeesh. Everyone out there is drying their eyes right now.